It is a very exciting project. I'm going to say again, it is a very, very exciting project. And one that we have worked on for many years to make a reality. Thank you for being here to celebrate with us. We have a short video clip that will show the history of this building and preview the future. Let's take a look. Today, it is my pleasure to serve as MC and lead off the program. We will hear from several speakers, and then we'll officially turn some dirt. A project like this takes many individuals and organizations to make happen. While you hear from several key players, there are many others with us today who helped get us here. And some of those individuals will also join for the groundbreaking in a little while. Afterward, there will be opportunities for interviews with the lead architect, the program manager, event organizers from the National Customer Advisory Board, our elected official, and others. Or you may just wish to stay and network a little while and sample a treat from Clementine's Naughty and Nice Creamery. As I mentioned, I serve as the chairwoman of the coordination team. It's been a lot of work, which is a group of individuals charged with oversight on this important project for our region. The members of the team, in addition to myself, are, and if you're here this morning, please stand. Jared Boyd, Chief of Staff to Mayor Jones. Deanna Venker, Office of the County Executive. Neil Richardson, Executive Director for the Land Clearance for Redevelopment Authority. Sheena Hamilton, St. Louis City Councilor. And Kitty Radcliffe, President of Explore St. Louis. If anyone has worked with Kitty, I just knew Jason Tatum would be here this morning. But I guess he had to play in the game tonight. But we have with us today a number of elected officials, including County Councilman Tim Fitch, members of the city's Board of Aldermen, Jane Page, Dan Gunther, Carol Howard, Tina Field, Christine Ingracia, and Michael Gross. If there are any others that I missed, please stand. State Senator Doug Beck, State Representatives Gretchen Bangert, Donna Berenger, and Bridget Walsh-Moore. And if I have missed any elected officials this morning, please stand. Thank you. We are grateful for the support that we have had from so many of our elected leaders in the city, county, and state. We thank them for being with us today. We are also honored to have with us Barry Cervantes, whose father, Mayor Alfonso Cervantes, led the charge to build the original convention center in the 1970s. Would you please stand? Now let me introduce you to today's speakers. In reverse order of speaking, starting with Kitty Ratcliffe, President of Explore St. Louis, Tony Thompson, Chairman of Kwame Building Group, my boss, Comptroller Darlene Green, Dr. Sam Page, St. Louis County Executive, and the Honorable Tashara O. Jones, Mayor of the City of St. Louis. Mayor Jones has long been a champion for the hospitality industry, and we are pleased to have her here today to share her thoughts on the importance of today in St. Louis. Mayor Jones.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to join you and fellow elected leaders today for this historic groundbreaking. If St. Louis is the gateway to the West, the America Center is our city's front door, welcoming hundreds of thousands of visitors every year, bringing their dollars to the nearly 90 events in America Center each year. From the GeoInt Symposium in 2021 to last weekend's Fan Expo, St. Louis's America Center is already a destination. America Center is where we hosted Olympic icon Simone Biles last year. America Center is also where we used to have the Winterfest. That was an event that my son particularly liked, with all of the inside bouncy houses, and I hope that comes back. These kinds of events are more than just a source of pride for St. Louis. They create a $265 million economic activity for our city, our state, and our region. St. Louis's tourism industry supports more than 90,000 working families across our region, so it's imperative that we stay competitive in attracting new conventions and events. And AC Next Gen will help us do just that, and are the first improvements to the center since 1995. The new 72,000 square foot new exhibit hall will be right where we're standing today. Attracting more conventions and attractions will strengthen our city's urban core and make downtown an even better place to live, work, and play for all. More events means more activity, and as you know, I always say an idle downtown is a troublemaker's paradise. So thank you to County Executive Page, Explore St. Louis, Comptroller Darlene Green, Board of Public Service President Rich Bradley, the Coordinating Committee, Tony Thompson, and everyone who made this possible today. I look forward to collaborating with you to keep this project rolling. Thank you and God bless.
Well, thank you, Mayor Jones, and good morning to everyone. We talk a lot about regionalism and collaboration, but what do regionalism and collaboration look like? America Center is a good example. America Center is an important asset to the region, allowing us to attract national and international events in a way that no other facility can do. And when they come, the positive impact is felt throughout the region. David Robert from Midas Hospitality, headquartered in Maryland Heights, and Steve Pete from River City Casino in South County have joined us this morning, and both have shared with me that when big events come to America's Center, it's felt throughout the county, especially in the hotel industry. And many of our companies in St. Louis County that supply goods and services to America's Center, when these big events are here, they're beneficiaries as well. And our workforce in St. Louis County is dependent on the jobs created when thousands of people come to town. And this includes union labor to set up and break down for events, specialists in event technology production, and transportation professionals, and countless other individuals and businesses that benefit when there's a hub of activity at America's Center. The hospitality industry has greatly suffered over the past 2 years, and getting this project started is an important boost in our continued recovery. St. Louis County is committed to helping our businesses and citizens get back in charge of what's happening in our community and helping them to recover and getting our citizens on track to help our region flourish. And that includes working with the city and the tourism leaders to showcase what a great community we have here in the St. Louis region. So I'm glad to be here today to celebrate the expansion of America's Center. The St. Louis region and the center of America is a place we proudly call home, where companies big and small build livelihoods and promising future. Where we can point to a project like this exciting expansion to highlight what regionalism and collaboration will look like. So thanks for being here today, and I hope we have an opportunity to hear some remarks from Comptroller Green's office. Tanya?
Comptroller Darlene Green is not available to be here this morning, so I will have to give her remarks for her. So thank you, St. Louis County Executive. From the beginning, the expansion of the America Center has been envisioned as a true partnership between St. Louis City and St. Louis County. The Comptroller has been very pleased to be standing with all of you during this project as we begin our groundbreaking for the expansion. America Center is the heart of our region's $5.9 billion tourism engine, bringing events and visitors from around the nation to St. Louis. And serving all those visitors means jobs. Here at America Center, and job at Lambert St. Louis International Airport, restaurants, hotels, and attractions across the St. Louis region. In fact, with the economy rebounding, that means more than 90,000 jobs in the St. Louis region, dependent on our capability to bring events to our hometown. This expansion solidifies St. Louis as a competitor in the national market. I'm looking for us to have a Tier 1 convention center. Putting together a finance package for a $210 million expansion is a big deal. It takes multiple professionals working together who understand not only the letter of the law, but who have a deep understanding of the bond market that only comes through experience. In fact, when we went to the market with the city's $105 million, which was half of the financing of this project, we netted additional proceeds and were able to purchase the old 7th Street garage, which for some time had not provided the quality of experience we want convention and event attendees to have. If you remember, that would be the Kadrani garage by our Dillards and our convention center garage with the Sky Bridge. It bears repeating that this expansion is being paid for without a tax on local residents. The bonds financing the project costs are backed by a regional hotel tax paid by guests staying in the area hotels. That's right. The people of St. Louis City and St. Louis County are getting an expanded convention center, better oriented to be part of the downtown neighborhood, supporting approximately 5,000 direct jobs and another 85,000 jobs in the region, all being paid for by guests to our region. Comptroller Green may not be here today, but I do remember the first day of this assignment, Comptroller Green saying, go and see County Executive Sam Page back in 2019. So in closing, today I am grateful for the hard work put in by Kitty Radcliffe and the Explorers St. Louis team to put together this phenomenal expansion plan. I'm grateful for the leadership by County Executive Page, the late Councilwoman Hazel Irby and her vision, and the City Council. I'm grateful for the leadership of Mayor Jones and work being done by her administration, and I'm grateful for the many professionals whose diligent work goes on largely out of the spotlight. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Tony Thompson, CEO of the Expansion Program Manager for Kwame Building Group.
Thank you. And where's my mom? You know, like Jennifer Lopez told her last 3 husbands, I won't be keeping you long. So this has kind of come full circle for me. My mother grew up right over here in Carr Square Village, so it's kind of like a homecoming for me to be working on a project right in an area where we grew up, Pruitt-Igoe. So being a part of an iconic project like this, is really important to us. But I want to also point out that the big elephant in the room that everyone probably is still thinking about is the whole budget issue and the cost issue and things of that nature. If anybody's paying attention, instead of us really kind of complaining or whining about the fact that it's a little over budget, you just heard what Ms. Green's remarks stated. The economic impact to this city would be much worse if we did not move forward with a project like this. And so I'm pleased to be a part of it. But one of the things I got to stress is that to the team that we have, we've put together a top-notch team on this entire project. It's not amateur night for us, being led by my program manager and vice president, Craig Lucas, who's a professional engineer with 25 plus years. Well, you've been with me more than 30 years. He was my advisor when I started the Kwame Building Group over 30 years ago, and now he's one of my senior managers in there. So Craig, thank you for all that you've done to pull this team together. We have a top-notch team on our team. So Burns McDonald's here as a part of our team. Joe, I saw Jim Rosick's there, Burns and McDonald. We got Integra as a part of our team. Anyone from Integra here today? There you go. Thank you. Webb Engineering, Stan Webb. Lion, is Nicole Young around? Oh, there you go. I'm going to here, Nicole. And EDSI. And so with that team, I see Katina, who's keeping everything together for us in the back. One of the things that I'm pleased about the participation level, I think we just got a little over 25% white participation on our team, right? Great. So we're exceeding the goals of our white participation. And so Fentress, a top-notch architectural firm, is leading this. Ned is here. And Michael Kennedy, of course, KAI, another superior minority architectural design firm, is a part of our team. So we put together a really great team. So I want to thank everyone for allowing us the opportunity to be a part of a project like this. To Mayor Jones, County Executive Sam Page, Darlene Green, and certainly Ms. Kitty Ratcliffe. It takes a lot of time, as they've pointed out, and sometimes, as they say, just kind of lonely at the top. So I've had to spend quite a few meetings myself explaining what happened and why things are where they are. And hopefully I did a decent enough job that everyone agreed to move forward with the project. And none of this could be done without the close working relationship that we have developed with the President of the Board of Public Service, Mr. Richard Bradley, here and his team. And I spent a lot of time with my friend here from St. Louis County, Mr. Rodney Krim, answering questions, being scrutinized over the numbers, and obviously Neil Richardson, who stepped in. So it takes a lot of people and a lot of team, and no one does any of these things on their own. But I'd like to thank everyone for giving us the opportunity here at the Kwame Builder Group, and we look forward to opening up a great project. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony, and thanks for keeping your remarks short, because mine aren't. Seriously. You've heard from the mayor, you've heard from the county executive, the comptroller's team, the chairwoman of the coordination team, and the program manager, who all have very well and clearly shared details about the importance of this project to our region, to our economy, and to this neighborhood. So I'm guessing there are a few of you who are sitting there thinking, what else is there to say? There's a lot. And it mostly concerns the direct stakeholders in our community who've been so patient and so supportive of this process. First, to our hospitality community. Here today are several of our hotel general managers. I saw two of them just walk in a minute ago off to the side. They arrived just in time. And others in the back that I see here, Randy Thompson and others from the collective hotel community. Their businesses are dependent on a convention center that can compete effectively for business events and win them. They've long awaited for improvements on this building, and they've had to deal with the consequences of uncertainty of the schedule for construction and for when improvements would be real enough to start selling them. Today, we take some of that uncertainty away, and I thank them for their patience and for being here today on behalf of their teams. Also here today are members of various labor unions, including the decorators and displaymen, the carpenters, and the projectionists. Their members work the shows that are held in the convention center. The more big shows that we have with more freight, the more work they do, and they've been waiting as well, and I thank them. Our neighbors have been waiting. They've had this massive white wall over here. It's so attractive. For blocks, it goes for blocks along 9th Street. And they've looked at it for decades. And on Cole Street, they've been looking at truck headlights shining in their windows in the wee hours of the morning since 1977. Alderman James Page is here with us today with both hats on. His other hat is with the Downtown Neighborhood Association. Patty Hagan from T-Rex, several folks from United Way, John Berglund from Starwood Group, the Post-Dispatch, all here today. Thank you for your patience. Well, utilities have been rerouted in the streets for the last year, and the parking garage that was on this site was torn down. And speaking of utilities relocation, many thanks to Ameren, Spire, AT&T, and so many others who rolled up their sleeves and figured out how to make their systems work in different paths under the ground. And again, thank you to Stan Webb for his coordination of all of that effort. To get to this point of waiting no more, many individuals and groups have helped along the way, and I know I'm going to miss some, but I'm going to name a few in addition to those that have already been identified by previous speakers. To the team at SLDC, LCRA, I'm never quite sure what to call you, under now retired Otis Williams, thank you for being here, Otis, and current leader Neil Richardson, and their many members, their team, who helped us figure out how to acquire the property necessary for the expansion, this block and another one, before the project was approved or announced. And to the Board of Explore St. Louis, led by our chairman, Andy Leonard, and also represented here today by David Robert, Steve Peet, Alper Oztok, and others, for having the fortitude to back a plan in cooperation with LCRA to buy property for a project that might never get off the ground, and instead would have landed us in the parking business. It's not our deal. So thank you most especially. And sometimes a parking lot or a garage can lead to better things, as it did today. From that beginning until today, our legal team at Thompson Coburn wrote resolutions, ordinances, operating agreements, reviewed bond documents ad nauseum. I see both Barb Geisman and Bob Wallace here, and there may be others. And once the property was acquired and legislation was passed in both the city and the county, then so many others stepped in. Rich Bradley and his team at the Board of Public Service have facilitated the selection of the architects and the program manager in the middle of a pandemic. And they work hard at this every day. You've heard from Tony Thompson about the team that Kwame has put on this project, and Craig Lucas and others are really terrific. Let me tell you about the architectural team at Fentress, led by Ned Kirschbaum and Mike Winters and Kelly Dunn, and Ned and Mike are here with us today. They've assembled an extraordinary collection of specialists and have done really incredible work. Some of those specialists are here in St. Louis, including Pattern Ives, KAI, Arbolope, David Mason Associates, and Kiku Obata. They're a world-class collection. And the work of the architects was assisted by a volunteer group of business event organizers who sit on our National Customer Advisory Board. They gave insight to how the spaces should flow within the building, and also intel on what other convention centers do or don't do well. Here today are a few members of that group: Allie Jenkins, Heather C. Schultz, and Dale Shooter. City department heads like Catherine Werner, Director of Sustainability, David Newberger, Director of the Office of Disability, Jamie Wilson and the Streets team, budget directors for both the city and the county, both named Paul, by the way. It must be a budget thing. Like, the name Paul means you're really good with numbers. Paul Payne, I see, is back here. Paul Kreidler from St. Louis County, both extremely helpful as we've gone through this process. So many other community partners who tried to help, offered to help in the future, tried to figure out how to help. Tom Reeves and Daniel Smith from Busey Bank, Rodney Krim from St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, Vanessa Cooksey from the Regional Arts Commission, Dustin Allison from Greater STL, members of our Civic Pride Board, Rhonda Homnebrigi, Tamara Keefe, Asim Raza, and there may be a few others I'm missing. I want to note the presence today, I think in the back under a hat with sunglasses on, of Dr. Donald Suggs, publisher of the St. Louis American, for his constant support for our industry and the men and the women of St. Louis who work in it, and in particular, his unfailing championship of the need for this project to be done. Thank you for being here, Dr. Suggs. None of this happens without the elected officials who lead our community, and we've had so many in the past. The late Hazel Irby was a tremendous champion for this project, and I wish that she could be here today. Former Mayor Curson and many others, members of our board who are no longer with us, like Kim Tucci. But none of this happens without the group that's up here on the dais and others that are working with them. Mayor Jones has always understood and supported our industry when she was a state representative, city treasurer, and now as mayor. And as mayor, she's put together a great team of her members at our disposal, including Jared Boyd of the coordination team. The county executive supported this project as a regional benefit when he was a member of the council and its chair, and now as county executive. And we couldn't have had a more capable representative to the coordination team from the county than Deanna Venker, who we are always grateful for. When I came to take this job to town many moons ago, I went to see Comptroller Green, and I shared with her my thoughts about the condition of the convention center. I think I used the word, it's like a prison. That had an effect, because before the year was out, we had $2.7 million to make aesthetic improvements that changed the experience inside the building. And she's always been there for our industry. And what can I say about LaTanya Kenner? Not enough. She's worked on this day in and day out, getting the details taken care of so that the city's bonds could be issued during a pandemic. Additional real estate could be acquired on the day the bonds were selling, and working through the craziness of the last 10 months with unanticipated project delays. She is always calm, collected, and thoughtful. Last and most important to me, the team at Explore St. Louis. Too many to name. A couple of dozen are here today. Some of them are wearing red or black t-shirts, polo shirts. You've waited years for me to get this done, and you've had to work with the customers who had to leave St. Louis because they'd outgrown the building, wondering what it would take for people to understand that St. Louis was losing ground every year that we did nothing. Then seeing the legislation get passed in the city and then the county, and then celebrating, only to be knocked down by a pandemic, and then way too long a delay. You've always been there with the front line, with our customers and our industry partners. You're a dedicated, talented, hardworking group of individuals, and I'm grateful to work with you, proud that you represent our organization and St. Louis so well. The industry is rebounding globally, and today we're going to take a huge step for the next generation of business events in St. Louis with AC Next Gen. I want to give thanks to Z&L Demolition, which did a superb job of getting the old C9 garage that was on this block down and the site cleared, so we are ready. The Board of Public Service has issued the notice to proceed to Ben-Hur construction. So let's turn some dirt today. The members of the dais here are going to journey over to that mound of dirt to officially break ground, and we're going to ask some additional individuals to join them. Before I do that, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here today to support what we are trying to do for the hospitality industry of our region and for our community. I'd like to ask, in addition to the members of the dais, I'd like to ask that members of the coordination team, Sheena Hamilton, Jared Boyd, Deanna Van